you neglect that, you are not going to live as healthy, as dynamic, as creative, as contributive, as courageous, as connective, as compassionate a life as you could have. Your value system is going to be inefficient, which means somewhere, somehow, your self-indulgence became self-centered. It became selfish. It became narcissistic. Oh. Oh. See, there's a geometry to the body. There are angles. Now, I don't have a protractor. I don't have a tape measure. I have them in the shop where I build these U-thrones. There are dimensions that are themselves magical for you, for her, for him, for them, for us, for tigers and lions and bears and roly-polies and birds and chickens. You know, everything that is alive has some life capacity. And that means that there is a perfect organization of atoms and molecules such that life is possible. Some life you might not want, some life is torturous, but nonetheless it's life. Ah, see these parabolas, see these exponential curves, see these lines, imagine those grids, imagine those curves in space-time, imagine the curves in the solar system. I love to think of those barbershop columns that spin, and it gives you the impression of this continuum of a movement, but it's an illusion. It's just it rotating. But we've changed the way that the light photons are reflected, and when light is constantly striking that object, those light photons are constantly being reflected back into our eyes. They're constantly activating those sensors, those other molecular sensors, the biological technology that every creature who sees possesses in differing quantities and in differing precision capabilities. How do you think hawks can hunt such small things from so far away? All technology is mimicking life, and all life is mimicking matter. And all matter is mimicking that which came before it. Is it mimicking the dark matter, the dark energies, the dark matter? Mimicry is a part of this universe, it seems. These dualities, and that's why Taoism is kind of coming to the fore as being one of the substrates for achieving a omni-religious, an omni-theological, an omni-philosophical, an omni-physiological, an omni-religious fusion with U-thrones, which is a combination of Christianity and Neo-Hebrew, Judaic philosophical interpretations with Hegel and Nietzsche, talk about, like Einsteinian philosophy, modern modern technology and modern research, even like Hitchinson, Hitchinsonian thought, Harrison, Harris thought, um, uh, kind of these dualities that are emergent from every era. The way that Oppenheimer ushered in a new world, a new type of technology, a new industry, a new way of using this naturally occurring substance, uranium, plutonium. It's there in small amounts, and it's produced in those last dying moments of a supernovae. Every rock planet possesses some of that somewhere. Boom, it's blown out in these giant clouds that recongeal. And those subsequently become stars, and eventually you don't have enough matter to recongeal, and it just heats up and then it just dissipates into the universe. And there is no recongealing that we know of, that we have detected yet. Now, I'm incredibly humble. I am entirely willing to acknowledge the fact that I don't know all of that. I don't know what laws have yet to be discovered. But I do not deny, hey girl, what has been discovered, what has been proven, what science and technology has shown to be true and will always be shown to be true. These are just parameters of the universe. These are constants in the universe. With precision perception comes greater knowledge. Period. You perceive more, you know more. You have more perfect information, thus you can interact more perfectly, assuming that you can arrange and you have the capacity for organizing all of that enhanced perception into something that is coherent and is conceived in a way that maximizes the clarity with which one makes choices consciously. Ah. 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 Compressing with everything, decompressing with everything, compressing with the center, decompressing with the outsides, compressing with the outsides, decompressing with the center, and then altering the rhythm, altering the timing of when you begin decompressing and compressing. You don't compress to the point of pain. You compress to the point of contact, and then a little bit more, and then you immediately start to expand as you have dissipated your internal air pressure almost till it's been exhausted. Because it's when your air pressure is internally exhausted that you have to rely upon your musculature and its expansive power to be responsible for keeping your spine long and minimizing the amount of force that the discs and the vertebrae are responsible for absorbing. Because gravity doesn't stop. Remind yourselves of that all the time. Gravity, 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 gravity. Euthrones, euthrones, euthrones oppose gravity. Euthrones oppose gravity. You can oppose gravity. That is your job for so long as you are a perfect union of matter and molecules and atomic movement potential. You are interfacing. The more perfectly you oppose gravity, the more perfectly the more perfectly you're forming the internal unions with the external potential for unions. That can happen by gardening first, by going out and hunting, or going out on like a slow motion hike. You know, you're not hiking to get to the top of the mountain. You're not hiking to get to point A to point B. You're hiking for a certain amount of time in slow motion. You're hiking with a heightened sense of your surroundings. You see, whenever you move the throne closer to your body, you're changing the amount of force that is on the extremity. And thus, you're changing the sector of the muscle along its length, along all the muscles' lengths, to be engaged and activated and contracted or relaxed, and the intensity of that relaxation and that contraction. There is that balance all the time. And the euthrones give you a way of knowing how balanced it is. See, I don't even have my feet underneath me. I don't even need a euthrone for this. These ideas can be practiced with or without a euthrone. You're keeping your spine long. You're trying to activate the muscles evenly along that central spinal scaffold for all of you. That's what's responsible for the size of your breath. That's what's responsible for the range of your movements. How far can these vertebrae go before they go too far? And those, we've all seen, the inside of fish, the inside of birds. We've all seen the inside of skeletons. Everything has a limit. Everything has some range of motion. And it sure seems to be that the slow transitions of force that in